is he doing a speech to literally sort of six people?
Yeah, it's even standing on a little pedestal.
Well, hello and welcome to the Shallow Proclamation. My name is Paul, and as always, I'm joined by
Thomas.
And it's Thomas, whispering like a sea devil there. And those of us who...
No, that would be... Thomas. I don't know.
Sounded very Welsh there. Thomas. Like, I don't know. I don't know. It's very hard to roll your T's, but somehow you managed it.
Don't think I could do it again.
A Welsh rolling of the T's. Anyway, yes, welcome to the channel. Particularly if you're here for the first time, we're watching Doctor Who right from 1963 all the way through. We're in the middle, or past the middle point now of season 9. And we're about to jump into this story in a moment. Just to say, though, that if you want the full reactions, you can find them on our Patreon, which you can find a link for in the description. There are some various tiers there that you can have a look at and decide what you might like to do, if anything. You can always chat with us more about Doctor Who on our Discord server, which is a free place for us to chat. There's a link in the description for that. And, of course, you can comment here on YouTube. It's always fun for us to read your comments and see what you make of these stories as well. So do throw your comments down below. We're about to dive into a new story, The Mutants. It's a six-parter, originally broadcast from the 8th of April to the 13th of May 1972. It was written by Bob Baker and Dave Martin and directed by Christopher Barry. And I think this might be the last Pertwee story I saw, in the sense of, out of all the stories together, I think this is the last Pertwee story I ever watched. I'd seen all the others prior to it. Also, I have a suspicion, though, despite the whole thing, Thomas, about our channel being you're the one who's not seen classic Doctor Who and I have, I'm not sure I ever finished it. So I'm not sure I've ever seen this all the way through. I'm not 100%. So
okay.
I've definitely seen the beginning of it. But I'm not sure how far into it I got, or if I did finish it. Because when I watched it, I mean, we're talking now that I watched it at university, which was nigh on 18 years ago. So
Nice.
So I think if I've got my dates right there, so around then.
Wow, I'm intrigued.
So am I.
Yeah. Potentially new content for both of us. So it's like watching the Shooty Gatwa episodes or something.
Absolutely.
Oh, hello.
It's Gandalf out for a trip.
You shall not pass.
I was going to say, sounds like he might be running late for something, but of course a wizard is never late. He arrives precisely when he means to. Very atmospheric.
Ooh, look at his back.
Yeah.
What the heck is this guy doing? Already this has grabbed me. Oh, nice. Good to have a proper materialisation again. What was that story where it just appeared suddenly?
Was it Colony in Space?
Yeah, I think it was. They just forgot that the TARDIS is meant to sort of do a few in and out as it materialises. They just went...
I mean, it says something, doesn't it, that it feels like a bit of a treat to see the TARDIS in the Pertwee era.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice. This is good. We're getting some proper Doctor Who in space action.
Yeah.
We must be on a... Do you ever read Gibbon's Decline and Fall?
No, is it good?
Joe, this is like that. You see?
No.
Oh. Well, empires rise and empires fall.
She literally just said she hasn't read it.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, yeah, that.
It's like that. I do like, though, as we commented in a few of the previous stories, there's just the relationship between the Doctor and Jo now is much sort of warmer, isn't it?
It is. It is.
Sort of very fond of each other. Quite playful as well. That was an interesting use of a gong slowed down.
Yeah, does that let them know that dinner's ready?
Yeah.
I like the kind of atoms on the walls.
Yeah, the whole thing is a strange juxtaposition, isn't it? That kind of scientific thing, and then these guys who are dressed in a, I don't know what kind of era.
Yeah, it's kind of ancient and modern smashed together, isn't it?
Bombastic signature tune.
Is that the Doctor Who theme?
I was going to say, could well be.
Some 500 years ago, we Earthmen, overlords, as you call us, arrived on Solos. Our ancestors, yours and mine, made a solemn treaty, a pact, a bond, an act of friendship and mutual cooperation between our two peoples. A bold concept. Two different cultures, far apart in terms of development, uniting together to create a new society, a new and richer world. Now,
Is he doing a speech to literally sort of 6 people?
Yeah, it's even standing on a little pedestal.
we have steered you to the verge of disaster, to the verge of independence.
Segregation.
Rights and privileges as citizens of empire. You, the peoples of Solos, have given us much. And we in return have given you a strong and stable system of government. Despite, I say, recent acts of terrorism, violence, and subversion. The only black mark on the history of amicable relations unparalleled throughout the empire. We want freedom, and we want it now!
Well, they can take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom.
All this has been arranged by the administration.
Listen, I've got to talk to you. Listen, Louis! We're not shooting Overlord. But I'm not an Overlord. I've come to help.
Order for shoot! They can't! I said fire!
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah, not a bad start, actually.
Well, obviously, they're a very, yeah, a lot, obviously, a kind of subtext of colonialism there.
Yeah.
Well, not in the subtext, really, kind of in the text.
Yeah, I think the writers initially wanted to write. So yeah, it was a comment on colonialism and like apartheid.
Yeah.
So although I believe that in final productions some of those elements were toned down in favour of more sci-fi elements as well. So, but it's obviously still there.
Yeah, but no, I think it's nicely done because it's kind of sci-fi is quite good at helping you just like see things from a different angle, isn't it? I think War of the Worlds I'm reading at the moment, the H.G. Wells classic, that was kind of seen as a colonial thing as well, that you have the Martians looking at Earth and suddenly wanting it and just wanting, like, bulldozing in and trying to take over. And yeah, it was interesting here that when he was doing that speech to the sort of the 6 people and saying, look at all the things we've done for you, it's a bit like, what have the Romans ever done for us? And the crowd, the aqueduct. So apart from wine, sanitation,
Medicine,
the roads.
the roads. Well, of course, the roads go without saying.
What have the Romans ever done for us? Yeah. But yeah, I mean, yeah, interesting stuff. I think quite well done. And yeah, that it even had the segregation thing, didn't it?
Yeah.
With the signs on the different doorways. But yeah, what did you make of that?
Yeah, I thought it was a good start. I really liked the opening scene. I thought that worked really well. Sort of quite an arresting opening scene and just straight into some action on location, which is nice because we had the rest of it wasn't on location. Which, in a sense, I think it feels quite jarring in some ways, though, that having had so much location, not just in the Sea Devils, but the whole Pertwee era, anything where there's not, Curse of Peladon was similar as well, wasn't it? I think Curse of Peladon, there was no location shooting. So again, it feels very different. And I think it probably does suffer a little bit because of that. That the stuff shot in a studio is never going to have quite the scale and feel that the other stuff does. But then hopefully we'll get some more location stuff. No, but I like the opening, and I also like this idea of the Time Lords again using the Doctor, sending him on another sort of mission, and this box which is only going to open for the person for whom it's actually intended for. It's quite a nice idea.
Kind of biometric thing.
Yeah, and to have that at the end, where obviously as that guy rushes past, they're like, it's for this guy, and he's like, wait, this is for you and stuff. So I think there's definitely off to a good start. Yeah,
intrigued to see where it goes. Yeah, well, if you want to join us, people, do subscribe to stay in the loop, and do check out our Discord in the link below, and you can continue the conversation there. And we have a Patreon as well, where you can access the full commentary tracks for these episodes, because obviously we can't really upload the whole thing to YouTube. Well, we could, but we wouldn't be able to include much footage in that. So yeah, if you want to listen along to us while you're watching the full episode, you can access those commentary tracks on our Patreon. But yeah, thanks for watching. All the best.
Bye-bye.